Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Rebecca Skeel and welcome to video number 3 in my series during this month of radical loving. I'm actually doing a video every day this week and I want to welcome you if you're here with me live or if you're watching later on at your convenience. I also want to say right up front that I have a cold and I've developed a cough. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get through this without sneezing or coughing or whatever. If I do have to stop, I want you to know I'll come right back on. So we may have to splice all this together. But you know, that's one of the things about doing Facebook Live, right? There's no rehearsal. There's no time that I can do it ahead of time and have it on perfect. So we're just going to be perfectly imperfect today in talking about radical loving. So just as a recap, in case this is the first video you've watched in this series, the first video I talked about the assignment that was given to me about 2 weeks after the election. And the assignment had to do with, okay, Rebecca, what are you going to do with your radical loving now? Then there was a whole we looked at what is radical loving to you. And I think this is really important because each of us needs to come forward with our own definition of that, our own expression of that, right? Then video number 2, I talked about compassion and how important compassion is our come from, because compassion takes the fire and the passion from our heart and brings it out into our hands, because compassion is action. And I talk about that in video number 2. And today I want to talk about wholeheartedness. Wholeheartedness. And how do we keep our heart open? Open wholeheartedness in the face of despair and pain and suffering and maybe overwhelm or whatever, fear. And the reason I want to talk about open-heartedness, actually it's not wholeheartedness, I'm sorry, it's open-heartedness, is because when we have an open heart, it benefits us. When we have a closed heart, it does not benefit us. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But I want to start off with a little reading here. This is actually a reading from, it was a post on Facebook, and it's from one of the wonderful women I get to mentor in a year-long Sacred Ambition mentorship. And when I read it, I thought, oh my God, this is open-hearted, radical loving. So here we go. I've become an activist about climate change. It is real. It's happening. And I want the polar bears to have a chance to survive the melting of the Arctic waters due to the heating up of the atmosphere. When I lived in Alaska and watched all the development, my heart was in great pain. I chose to look at how to heal my heart, not realizing the enormity of that project. I am now able to open my heart to feel the pain of the world around me, and to begin to stand up and take action on behalf of the animals and the environments I love. This is a declaration of open-hearted, radical loving. So why am I saying that? The key here that I want to maybe bring forward as the teaching around open-heartedness is that our heart, our energetic heart, not the physical heart, the energetic heart, is huge. And it has the ability to hold pain and suffering, and also sacred and radical loving at the same time. If we are not able to move, or we feel stuck or overwhelmed, that means that the energetic heart is cluttered. It's full of past baggage that we need to heal. So if you notice in this, at first, she felt the pain that was around her, but she couldn't do anything about it because she was too let's say, cluttered with the heaviness from the past and things that happened in the past. But once she cleared that, there was space. And when there's space, we can hold both of them. And I think this is such a key right now, to keep the heart open, even in the face of pain and struggle and suffering and despair. I'm going to read a little bit more. I actually wrote something about this, and I think I wrote it so well, I want to read it. When we are coming from radical loving, we are all in, doing what we can with what we have. Even if there's outrage, even if we feel helpless and hopeless, even in the face of the worldview that would diminish us. Not allowing the despair and the social outrage to take us into a place of helplessness and hopelessness is radical. To express from this place of radical loving, far-reaching, impactful, on purpose, I also like bold, fierce, and kind, in a world is a blessing that shines light in the darkness of ignorance and deceit. Radical loving empowers each of us to take steps, small or large, toward what we want, not always strike out against what we don't want. So, the teaching of radical loving today, the part of radical loving today, is about how do you keep your heart open. It is a choice. It's not always easy. And yet I want to say that when the heart is clear, when the heart has been cleared and healed from our past, and we all have stuff from the past that needs to be healed, then we can hold both. It has the capacity to do that. And even in the face of everything that would want to diminish us, shut us down, have us run in the other direction, have us go into some kind of cynicism, or give up, we can hold both and then take our radical loving out into the world. So I want to say that all of these videos are really the beginning of dialogues. They're my thoughts that I have been honing and looking at now for several weeks now. Remember, this was an assignment that was given to me, but in no means is it complete in what I'm looking at and what I'm sharing with you. So if you're so moved, I would love for you to share in the comments section, even if you just say, this really stimulated me or presented something in a new way, wonderful. But if you have something to, an addition to what I'm talking about, I welcome your comments, and I will be paying attention, because this is one of the things that I feel like we are doing right now, is we are writing a new story for our time, and it's taking all of us, of course. And the other thing I want to say about these videos is I'll be doing these throughout the month. And actually, this month of Radical Loving is a lead up to a day that I'm doing February 18th in Albuquerque, New Mexico, called A Day of Radical Loving. I'll be talking more about that probably next week, about what to expect if you want to come join us. But if you're interested in finding out more about that day, you can go to my website, which is RebeccaESkeel.com, and there's some information there. Open-hearted. So maybe I always like to end these videos with just a moment of self-reflection. Self-reflection. So let's just take a moment and focus on the heart space. I usually touch my chest right here because this is the chakra of the heart, the energy center of the heart. What if this heart space were huge? What if the heart space of who you are reached beyond the tips of your fingers? Way out there. And what if in that space you could hold for yourself. Whatever is breaking your heart at this time, in the world, in your community, in your family, maybe in your personal life, and at the same time, you could hold radical loving for yourself, and then for whatever you want to put in motion. I have my two hands here. One is the pain and suffering, and one is the radical loving. What if you could hold both of them? Just maybe do that for a moment and feel the energy of that. For it is an energetic something. I'm sorry, the word just went right out of my head. It's an energetic that we're holding. So until next time, tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you for joining me again. I saw lots of little things pop up here. Hi, Annalisa. Hi, Deb. I think I saw Stephen Fort earlier. I'm getting better at this. Oh, need to look at the camera. I'm getting better at this. Multitasking while this is going on. Bye for now.